Well, hello, and thanks for joining us for another Confessions and Convictions. You know, I wish I could buy this book for you and share it with everybody that tunes in, the David Jeremiah devotional. And it's nice to share a devotional every once in a while. Some of you might say, hey Joe, whatever you're doing, do this every day. And I'm glad that you have your sentiment here. I hope you have your cup of coffee. And I hope that you've invited your friend over, or friends. Some of you have more than one friend. And that you all hit subscribe. Well, today we're going to share with you the episode that David talked about recently about be like God. And that comes from Ephesians. Let's see here. Old eyes. I can't see it well. It's chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. And it says, therefore be imitators of God like children, and walk in love. As to Christ also loved us, and gave himself for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God, a sweet smelling aroma. Well, it says David goes about and tells of one of the most successful commercials of all time happened in the summer of 1991. And that was, remember the drink product from the legendary basketball player? And he'd advertise after drinking, or they would, be like Mike. And you know what? It worked. Their sales went through the roof, went nuts. And there was a famous playwright, Oscar Wilde, and he used to say, and this is true among humans, that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. In other words, I remember in my teaching days, if something worked, another teacher would say, can I steal it? Or if this works for me and it might work for you, why don't you steal it? It's really just tip of the hat, acknowledging that someone else has done something good. Alright, so flattery is not the main reason or reason the Apostle Paul tells us to be imitators of God. You know, a little kid always wants to copy his dad and be just like his dad, or his hero. Okay, and let's hope most heroes are dads these days. Well, it's because God is love. In 1 John 4:8 tells us that. And then he demonstrated his love toward us. Romans 5:8 tells us that. But it's a goal. If our goal is to be a good basketball player, then we should be like Mike. But if our goal is to be like Christ, we should imitate God by walking in the same love that Christ did. Imitation then requires intimate knowledge and spending time in God's Word daily so that you know how to imitate Him. Which makes sense, because in order to be like Mike, well, play basketball like he did, it requires dedication, requires commitment, requires almost continual practice, adjustments, improvements, alterations, perhaps sometimes changing the entire game plan. Well, so it is when we follow God. We really do, as David says, need to get in there. You need to have some dedication. You need to be committed. You need to be willing to practice. And you need to, much more so, be willing to hear from the coach that maybe you need to change your shot a little bit. Maybe the way you execute needs to be altered just a little bit. And then find success in walking a closer walk with Jesus. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you come along. In the meantime, may the Lord bless and keep you, and may His hand of protection and provision be upon you and your family. May there be peace in your house. And may you grow in grace. It is our desire, if you need prayer, to let us know, and we'll pray for you. And, of course, be a friend of the channel. Don't miss out on little chats like these every day. Come and join us. Till then, God bless.